Raise your hand if you knew this was going to be a close series. Raise your hand. Raise your hand, everybody. Even if you're driving. Both hands.
No,
Both
don't
hands
raise your
if you're driving.
don't,
Both hands.
don't please
If you
keep
knew
your
it.
hands on the wheel at the
We knew it. You knew it. If you knew it, hands in the air. We tried to tell everybody this was not going to be OKC in 5. We did have OKC, but we tried to tell you this Indiana Pacer team is good. What a game, Kwab, first of all. Fantastic game.
Great game. But hold on real quick. Before, because I know there's going to be Pacer fans in the comments talking about what about Pacers in 5. So they're going to tell us
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
Yep.
You want to get to the box score?
Let's get to the box score.
Okay, let's get to the box score. Pacers beat the Thunder 116-107. Tyrese Haliburton 22, 11, and 9. Ben Mathurin, huge game off the bench, 27 points in 22 minutes. TJ McConnell showed sociopathic tendencies, and for the Thunder, SGA 24 and 8. Jalen Williams 26 and 6. Chet Holmgren with a double-double, 20 and 10. What a game, Kwab. This was a game that showed why the Pacers are who they are. They are relentless. This team will wear you down. They will make you exhausted. When we had the series preview, I said the Pacers win this series if they basically exhaust SGA. And not only did they exhaust SGA, it felt like they exhausted the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder got off to a quick start in the game. Chet Holmgren was very aggressive in the beginning of the game.
Yes, he
was going to the basket, was attacking the basket. Miles Turner was just lost on the pick and roll. They were picking on him pretty much all game, even towards the end where Miles actually stepped up and played better defense in the fourth quarter. But they seemed to get whatever they want in the pick and roll. Lou Dort was knocking down threes. It seemed like Oklahoma City had some sort of grasp on the game until the second quarter when that man, the sociopath, and I say that lovingly, the sociopath himself, TJ McConnell, baby.
Crazy.
He is out of his mind.
Crazy.
And I need everyone to know who's watching this that this is me complimenting him. Crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody steal 3 inbounds passes in a game. 3 times. He did it 3 times.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
insane. Him and Ben Mathurin flipped the game on its head, changed all of momentum. And from that point forward, it was just a track meet back and forth. And you saw OKC get tired, man. This is what we were saying. The Pacers have the ability to do this. And it's not just on the offensive end with SGA. It's on the defensive end. Now the perimeter defense isn't perimeter defensing as well as they typically do. The Thunder turned the ball over way too much this game, more than Indiana did, which is not how the Thunder win basketball games. They usually turn you over and convert out of that.
Yep.
This was Indiana Pacers basketball, and it was all sparked by the man himself, TJ McConnell.
Yeah, I think the 3 factors to me why the Pacers won this game was, 1, it being the Pacers bench headlined by the psycho TJ McConnell. It just so many impact plays he made, just with the ridiculous steals, a bunch of assists. Hitting his mid range as he always does, and if you look at the bench points between the Pacers and the Thunder, it's stark difference, and
it was like 16 or like 19-0 until the second. Like Isaiah Joe hit a 3, but the first like 16 or 19 bench points of the game were all Indiana.
It was completely tilted to one side, and that's been bench points has been a strength of the Thunder throughout the whole season, actually, because they get contributions from, like we always make the point of, different players. But today, like it was the Pacers, it was TJ, it was Ben Mathurin, Obi Toppin getting dunks, like put back dunks, also making, like, it was just a lot of that. The other factor being the Pacers defense overall, and to your point, like you made about when we did a preview, was like if the Pacers defense can exhaust SGA and get stops, they have a chance. And the defense was on point throughout the course of the game. They turned over the Thunder, who usually are the ones that turn over other teams.
Yeah.
And they were able to get some fast break points, just make the Thunder look uncomfortable in certain situations. Like, I think SGA had 6 turnovers, which was...
Yeah, and they were trapping him off the pick and roll, too, is an adjustment they made in the second half. Made some bad decisions. Overall, I mean, and it was kind of what we saw with the Thunder's offense, but kind of like, for me, worries me about the Thunder. Like, my one concern is that they kind of get a little stagnant on offense at times. And the
Yeah.
Pacers, man, they wore them down. That's what it just looked like. The Thunder just looked tired. They didn't have like that extra oomph. I thought J-Dub was really good. I thought Chet was really good early. SGA was okay, but he wasn't really dominating the pace of the game. He wasn't controlling the game like he was in
Nah,
game 2.
nah, he wasn't at all
Yeah.
in game 2. And to that, like there were, like you said, there were moments that were showing two to him. There were times he would try to post up and clear out, and they would just send a double and just
Yes.
scramble out of it. And they did a bunch of times and it worked. Like compared to game 2, where SGA was just coming off like a really early screen, like coming down the court and just operating, and the Pacers were just in drop, and he was just having whatever he wanted. And I say the last factor that the Pacers were able to win this victory was we saw an aggressive Tyrese Haliburton
Yes.
throughout the course of the game. It wasn't like I'm gonna wait till the fourth quarter to do my Pacers devil magic and hit a buzzer beater. It was like you from the start of the game. He had an impact. He had a footprint in the start of the game throughout the whole course of the game, and that's what he needs to do. I think my whole thing has been with the Pacers is that if Tyrese Haliburton is aggressive, and I'm not talking about just looking to score, like just being the point guard that he is and making impact plays, the Pacers look wonderful. And not only was he playing well offensively, he was making plays defensively. Like he was getting the passing lanes himself, like and getting a couple of fast break dunks and layups. And it was an impressive victory by the Pacers that start to finish. It helps. You always say, what is it? Role players play better at home. It helped.
Yeah.
Like we saw that tonight, and yeah, it was a great game overall. Like a good back and forth, but the Pacers were the better team tonight.
Yeah, they were. And I think, their defensive game plan was, pretty solid as well. I think they were really helping out, like over helping. Tyrese got a couple steals, being the weak side defender and cheating to the short roll. He had a wide open dunk because of a steal from there. SGA had a couple turnovers from there. They made them make the cross-court pass. And actually, OKC was doing the same thing with the Pacers, but Tyrese made a couple cross-court passes, or he hit the short roll, and then they would hit the corner from there. The Indiana Pacers, one of my favorite things about them is that you rarely see them take a bad shot. It's always a good offensive process, no matter what it is. And they were putting the Thunder in the pick and roll just as much as the Thunder were putting the Pacers in the pick and roll. And Miles Turner would get into the short roll, and he would have a jumper, or he would have somebody in the corner. I thought Miles was pretty bad today overall, but it's still that process of getting an open shot or finding someone else who's open that they stuck with, and they benefited from it. And then again, like I can't say enough about TJ McConnell and Ben Mathurin. I mean, this guy comes in, he plays 22 minutes, he has 27 points. I was talking with Kizzo, we were talking about the Pacers in general, and we're like, outside of Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam, he is their third best scorer. Like, give the ball to and go get a bucket.
Yeah.
And I think he's incredibly needed off the bench. Neesmith hit timely threes. Ben Shepherd, who, by the way, looks like an undercover cop playing basketball.
Wow. What?
Bro! Looks like a cop.
Wow.
He got assigned to bust somebody in the Indiana Pacers organization, and the only way he can stay undercover is if he hits
wild.
and he's been doing it. His cover has not been blown, but he's played great defense. Just overall, a great game by Indiana.
Like a Fed. That's crazy.
It's the stash, bro. It's the stash. On the other side, if I'm a Thunder fan, I'm encouraged by what I saw from Jalen Williams today. I thought he played better. I'm encouraged by what I saw from Chet early on in the game. He didn't have a good second half, settled for threes, was missing the threes. The bench didn't really show up. Isaiah Joe came in and he hit 2 threes. But outside of that, man, Hartenstein's been a non-factor. They're not doing the double big lineup like they did during the season. I guess, Mark just doesn't like the matchup there for Indiana. And Caruso, I thought played well. It wasn't a great Caruso game, but it was a good enough Caruso game. I thought he played good. He had good some defensive moments, especially at the end. He almost brought him back there. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like for me, if I'm Oklahoma City going forward, you got to figure out a way how to control the pace of the game. The easiest way to do that is to execute on offense, put the ball in the hoop so that you're not scrambling back on defense, and also not turning the ball over. That's another thing. You can't turn the ball over against the Pacers defense. It's the same thing with OKC. If you turn the ball over against OKC, they're gonna kill you every single time. And today was a role reversal from the Thunder standpoint, the turnovers were 17-13. Not too big of a mismatch there, but typically it's way in the other direction.
Yeah, usually it is way in the other direction. I think the Pacers did a good job too establishing Pascal, which
Yeah.
made a difference throughout the course of the game. Yeah, when it comes down to the Thunder, you could look at the box score and say that Chet, Jalen Williams, and SGA had solid games, and they just need some more from the bench. But I think even Lou Dort shot the ball well for with his long 3-pointers, but compared to game 2, it was just they didn't have the same defensive intensity. They felt like they didn't move the ball as effectively as they
Nah,
did,
at
and
all.
that's credit. I mean, that's credit to the. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit under the weather, but that's credit to the Pacers defense throughout the course of the game. The Pacers came to play, and they were the more physical and aggressive team. And if the Thunder want to swing it back their way, they need to be more aggressive and also be the better defensive team. But we've made the point throughout the course of the season that how underrated the Pacers defense is.
Yeah.
And even when we did the preview, we talked about that. And this game should highlight it for a lot of people to see what this defense is capable of, because you saw them get your hands in passing lanes, get a lot of steals that you would see more from the Thunder side. So you can be encouraged as a Thunder fan and be like, oh well, we can definitely play better than this. We've shown that we can play better than this. And anytime they lose, they usually come back and play extremely well. So there's that. And if you're the Pacers, you're up 2-1, you got another game at home to push this to 3-1. So you need to come out with the right mentality. Tyrese needs to come out the same way he did this game. Just keep being aggressive. And what is it? TJ McConnell needs to lose his mind again. I mean, that's
He saw the game twice in the second quarter and the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, going into game 4, Kwab and we said I had the Thunder in 7. I still have the Thunder in 7. Kwab had the Thunder in 6, which means they would have to win every game going forward. But we both knew this was going to be a tight series. For the life of me, this is not me patting myself on the back. I cannot fathom how many people, and this is me not even throwing shots at mainstream media. I hate when people say that shit. But even people who watched basketball, OKC in 5, it's this. That's a good team. They're the best team in the league, in my opinion. Yeah. But I didn't think this was a clear
cut. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, especially if you watch the Pacers since January 1st, it's not a surprise that they're up 2-1 in the NBA Finals. Even though I had the Thunder in 7, that means I think they're going to lose 3 games. You know what I mean? So for me, we're getting the finals that we knew we'd get. We're getting the finals that the NBA deserves. This is a finals that we all were excited for, and this is the reason why. These two teams are pretty evenly matched for them. I think the Thunder are a slightly better team, but this is not as big as a mismatch as people thought it was. And I'm happy that the Pacers are showing that. Whether they win the finals or not, I think this is great for the NBA. I think this is great for the sport. And I think people, really need to start watching these games instead of saying the state of Indiana on the jersey and just making assumptions. That's just where I'm going with that. But also, before we get out of here, Game 4 prediction. I know you don't do predictions, but what is your vibe going into Game 4?
A good game. That's my vibe. Look, I was gonna say real quick before I give my prediction. I air quoted. Yes, we both had the Thunder winning the series and winning the championship. You had it in 7, I had it in 6. We both also said we won't be surprised if the Pacers win this, just because we understand how good the Pacers are. So Pacers even winning this game, it's not really a surprise. Pacers winning Game 1 in the fashion they did, it's really not a surprise because they've been doing it all freaking playoffs. My prediction, I feel like the Thunder should win the next game just because they don't really lose back-to-back games. They usually come out the right way. I would hope the Pacers come out the right way and pull off a victory, but I think the Thunder are going to win the next game. Well, who do you think is going to win the next game?
Yeah, I got the Thunder winning Game 4. They don't lose back-to-back games. I think they'll make the proper adjustments. I think they'll try to set a tone, but I do think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a game where it's Thunder come out, make a statement, win by 15, and go back to OKC. I think it's going to be, come down to the last 2 minutes. Maybe Thunder win by 3, maybe win by 4. Have a better process in the game. I don't think they turn the ball over as much. I expect Mark to kind of find some type of solution for SGA being trapped. I think Chet needs to be a little more aggressive in the second half like he was in the first half. Hopefully J-Dub continues, his consistent play from what he did today. I think both teams will play well. I just think we're in for a really good NBA Finals from this point forward. I mean, it's been a really good NBA Finals. I know the Thunder pretty much handled game 2, but it's been a really good NBA Final so far.
Do you think that the Thunder win the next game if it's a close game, though?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Just because their track record of close games hasn't been that.
Well, they won one in Denver when they really needed it.
Yeah.
So they have shown me they're capable of doing it on the road. Same with Minnesota. Game 4 in Minnesota was the game that pretty much sealed it in that series. So yeah, I think they can, and I think they will.
I'll only ask that because my thinking is that a close game usually it would make sense to be like, yeah, you can see the Thunder winning, but it's the Pacers, bro.
I know the voodoo, bro. It's hard to go against the voodoo.
It's like the voodoo's crazy, bro. The Destiny shit. It's just wild. It's wild, bro. It's wild.
Nah, man, I'm really happy with the finals we're getting. I'm really happy with the finals we're getting.
Same.
All right, let's know what you think. Who you think wins game 4? The Pacers won today, so that means there'll be a lot of Pacer fans watching the video. That's just how these videos go. Drop a comment. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. What are you waiting for? Kwab and I are going to try to do lives eventually. Definitely want to boost this channel up and start that process going. You can follow us everywhere at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab AKS. We will see you for game 4. And if any news drops, trades, Knicks Knicks are able to steal someone's girlfriend.
Not happening.
We'll be for that deal. So stick around. Until then, we'll see you next time. Peace.